What if the ancient symbols of myth, psychology, and dream weren't just figments of the imagination, but coded frequencies shaping the very fabric of our reality? Today, we explore a radical synthesis of Jungian psychology, quantum physics, and metaphysical thought. We're diving into how archetypes, those primordial patterns of the psyche, may actually function as energetic fields, frequencies, that influence how we perceive, create, and experience our lives in the quantum field. This is not just a philosophical journey. It's a practical, spiritual roadmap to understanding how your identity, your choices, and your emotional state are entangled with universal patterns. Whether you're a seeker, a mystic, or a scientist of the soul, this episode is for you. What are archetypes? Let's begin with a foundation. Carl Jung described archetypes as universal, symbolic patterns that exist in the collective unconscious. They're not individual memories, but rather psychic templates, primordial blueprints of human experience. The mother, the hero, the trickster, the sage, these are just a few examples. But let's take it further. Archetypes are not just symbols in the mind. They are fields of meaning, existing both within and beyond the human psyche. In this sense, archetypes might be closer to what Plato called forms, ideal eternal essences that shape the material world. When we say someone is embodying the warrior or channeling the lover, we're really saying they are aligning with a particular frequency, a mythic tone vibrating through their consciousness. From a philosophical angle, archetypes transcend individuality. They are like lenses through which consciousness filters experience. Every moment of your life, you are influenced by these archetypal energies, sometimes unconsciously, sometimes consciously. They guide not only your personal story, but the evolution of the species. Frequencies and archetypal resonance. Now let's talk frequency. Everything in the universe vibrates. From the smallest subatomic particle to entire galaxies, everything is energy in motion. Emotions have frequencies. Thoughts have frequencies. And archetypes, too, have their own vibrational signatures. The lover archetype vibrates at the frequency of union, attraction, and intimacy. The warrior resonates with courage, protection, and direction. The shadow archetype resonates with repressed energy, unconscious patterns, and chaos that seeks integration. When you tune your consciousness to an archetype, you are literally entraining your emotional and energetic field to match its frequency. This is why rituals, myths, and storytelling are so powerful. They align the psyche with these deeper, energetic truths. You don't just think about an archetype, you become it. You vibrate with it. And in doing so, you enter a coherent field where new possibilities emerge. Archetypes are the harmonics of consciousness. They offer structure to the chaos. They help organize our internal frequencies into meaningful patterns, allowing us to navigate the quantum ocean of infinite potential. Archetypes as quantum programs. Now we move into quantum theory. The quantum world tells us that reality exists in a state of potential until it is observed. Consciousness, it seems, plays a fundamental role in collapsing the wave function into form. Here's where it gets fascinating. What if archetypes are not just psychological patterns, but programs in the quantum field? Archetypes might function like attractors in a sea of probabilities. They organize potential into form. Like gravitational fields of meaning, they pull certain experiences, emotions, and even timelines toward them. Think of each archetype as a quantum app, an energetic software running in the background of your consciousness. When you identify with a particular archetype, you activate that program. You start filtering your reality through its logic. Your decisions, reactions, and even the synchronicities that show up in your life begin to reflect that archetype's code. For example, aligning with the victim archetype might collapse reality in a way that confirms powerlessness. Aligning with the sovereign might collapse reality to reveal inner authority and external respect. Your emotional state, your identity, and your frequency all contribute to which version of reality becomes your experience. This isn't just theory, it has practical implications. By consciously choosing which archetypes to embody, you become a co-creator of your timeline. You're no longer at the mercy of unconscious programming. You are a quantum navigator, timeline shifting through archetypal alignment. Quantum theory also introduces the idea of multiple timelines, parallel realities all existing simultaneously. Your choices, your emotions, and your energy determine which of these realities you align with. Archetypes play a pivotal role in this alignment. Each archetype leads to different versions of you, different behaviors, and different futures. For example, imagine you're facing a major life decision. You could approach it from the energy of the warrior, decisive, brave, and focused. Or you could approach it from the wounded child, fearful, hesitant, and reactive. Each archetype leads to a different timeline. One version of your future collapses when you align with one frequency. Another version collapses when you shift that alignment. This is why healing the unconscious is so powerful. It helps you liberate yourself from unwanted archetypal loops. Once you bring awareness to the archetype you're embodying, you can shift it and shift your life. We are quantum beings navigating a multiverse of possibilities. Archetypes are the steering mechanisms. They're the emotional, mythic engines of your soul. Archetypal entanglement and the collective field. Lastly, let's explore archetypes in the collective quantum field. Have you ever noticed how you meet people who seem to activate something deep in you? Or how certain relationships feel destined, charged with mythic emotion? This may be archetypal entanglement. Archetypes don't just live in individuals, they live in the space between us. When two people are embodying complementary or opposing archetypes, like the hero and the guide, or the lover and the saboteur, a field of energetic tension is created. This is where transformation occurs. These entangled archetypes draw people together across time, space, and even lifetimes. They create synchronistic events, soul contracts, karmic patterns. Jung called this the myth you're living. In quantum terms, it's the entanglement of frequencies, the resonance between fields that activates evolution. When we recognize the archetypal story playing out between ourselves and others, we gain the power to choose differently. We gain the power to transmute the story into a higher octave. So what does all this mean for your life? It means you are not just a passive character in a story. You are the myth maker, the quantum navigator, the architect of meaning. By learning to work with archetypes, you are learning to work with the frequencies that shape your destiny. You are learning to collapse timelines in alignment with your soul's purpose. You are no longer drifting through unconscious patterns. You are consciously steering your life through the symbolic, energetic architecture of the cosmos. The key is awareness. Awareness of which archetypes you are embodying. Awareness of the frequencies you are emitting. Awareness of the stories you are living and the potential futures waiting to be activated. In this dance between psyche and particle, symbol and wave, we discover the great truth. Reality is not fixed. It is alive, vibrating, responding to the consciousness that observes it. And the archetypes? They are the music, the sacred frequencies that give form to the formless. Now the question becomes, what song are you singing? And which archetype are you ready to become? If this message resonated with you, I invite you to take the next step on your journey. Subscribe to the channel for more transformational content that bridges the worlds of psychology, quantum theory, and spiritual awakening. Leave a comment below. Let me know which archetype you feel most aligned with, or share how this perspective shifted your understanding of reality. And if you're ready to go deeper, if you're feeling called to align your inner frequency with your soul's purpose, I offer one-on-one sessions designed to support your awakening journey. Visit my website at emotionalalchemycoaching.square.site to learn more or schedule a session. Your consciousness is your most powerful tool. Let's activate it together.